That's what I always thought was interesting, because otherwise you get a new website. Like I know Pat Flynn, he got a new website and he was like, this looks great. And we went based on assumptions that we thought might work, and then it didn't totally work exactly like they wanted it to. And it's like, well, why didn't we just take what was working from the old page and then tweak it from there? Because it's you have that data. When you start with a brand new site, you have to wait and get new data again.
Yep. And you can't assume anything's going to work ever. So
like this, please.
you can't. And so many times people assume that something's going to work, or they assume that this looks better, but their visitors have something totally different to say about it. And it doesn't matter what I care about or what I think it looks like.
Does it convert?
Yeah. That's all at the end of the day, does it get you leads and sales?
That's the thing. That's why some of the ugliest websites that exist can convert really well, which doesn't make sense. I'm as an art major. So to me, like going like, that is so ugly. Who cares? It converts, right? Yep. But we can't predict it based on anything, really. I mean, you have data, so you can definitely try and do that.
We've got some best practices and some, a Rolodex.
Yeah, what are your best practices then?
Well, kind of like the same thing. We look at those kind of 5 or 6 elements to make sure they're in place first, and making sure there's congruency throughout the message, that they're continuing to sell the same message throughout the entire process. Even things like abandoned cart rate. Somebody will land on your checkout page, but they bail and you don't get a customer. But what do? You look at their page and they're like, okay, all it has is a credit card form and says buy now. Well, you're not continuing to sell on that process. So you give them more information on that site, highlight the benefits, the guarantee, the proof.
Like, you still want this.
Yes. Remember why you clicked over here in the first place.
So goal 1 would probably be like, okay, I mean, I'm getting 25 people on my email list every week, so therefore I should be looking at that piece first.
Yeah.
And then going down the rabbit hole maybe.
Yep. So if you're getting 25 leads a week, it might take you a couple weeks to get some kind of data. It might take you a month to get some data, but but
you might as well be running it, because it's not going to hurt.
And especially if you're paying for traffic.
Yeah.
And you're not testing, you're losing money.
Yeah, so let's talk about like landing pages and stuff like that too. Are those the same proof things, that like the 5 pieces, same exact thing for a landing page? Like what have you... I've been running a lot of traffic to landing pages, and I hired an agency and we were working with them, and I'm like, I don't know what else to test. I feel like we have all the pieces in there. I don't know what else there. You know what I mean? What do you give for advice on landing pages?
It just comes down to, again, the data. So you follow the click data and the heat data, and then make sure that you have simplicity and you have all the elements. And sometimes we can come in and just simply change a headline and see 40% bump. So it's pretty amazing what 10 words will do to conversions. And we've seen it time and time and time again.
Really?
If you're going to test anything, test headline.